Good morning. I'm back. I'm cooking again. Today we gonna make an omelet. I already cut up my stuff, so cut up your stuff. We got some bell pepper, green pepper, whatever you want to call it. We got some onions right here, and your choice of meat. If you use meat for your omelet, I used Oscar Mayer deli smoked turkey breast. So, my plan was to make one omelet, but I just got an uninvited guest, so I may be making two. And then you have eggs. Of course, you know you need eggs to make an omelet. And then I like cheese on mine, so I'm just using regular, Kraft sliced cheese. This skillet that I'm using is a flat skillet. It's better for the omelet laying out right. I think I said before I don't use oils and stuff. A lot of like, what you call it? Like vegetable oil. I don't use that. So I'm using Pam because it's fat free. So we're gonna spray our pan with some Pam. Like so. And now again, it's people's preferences. They sometimes like their vegetables to go in when the egg go in, but I like mine to get a little saute going on before I put them with the omelet. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my skillet on and put these bell peppers and onions on the skillet so that they can start to soften up and saute a little bit before I get the egg going. So let's do that. Okay, so I went ahead and put all of my ingredients in the skillet. You can see they're in there sizzling. And so while that's cooking, let's get the eggs started. Now usually for me, I would just use about 2 eggs. But since I'm making 2 omelets today, I'm going to use 4. And so you just crack and put your egg whites up in a bowl. And then get you a bag for your trash. Always have that handy. And you proceed to crack however many more eggs you're going to be using. Now again, depending on preference, people like to season their eggs. Some people use seasoning salt. Some people use just regular salt and pepper. I'm just going to use some pepper. And then you go ahead and, if you have a whisk, it'll probably work a lot better. But I got a fork. Works just as good. Go ahead and stir those eggs up. Get them nice and mixed. Until the egg yolk and the egg white is all mixed up in one, not separated. And then you set that aside. So I wanted to show y'all, I'm on my video, honey, how I went ahead and started to saute everything together so that it'll be ready to go in the omelet. It's looking mighty fine. Fine as wine over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of that stuff in this bowl and get ready to cook my egg so that we can put everything in the omelet. Okay, so with my skillet back empty, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some Pam again. And I went ahead and put all the meat, the onions, and the bell pepper in this bowl. So I'm going to just put it all back in the omelet once the egg starts cooking. And so you take your egg over to the stove. Turn the stove on. And just like that, and you just pour it in there. And depending on how even your stove is, it may go all to one side like that. Like I said, this is for 2 people. And instead of just making 2 separate omelets, I'm going to just put everything in one and then cut it in half. So you put all that in there, and then you just let that cook for a minute, and then we're going to add our ingredients. So once your egg starts to get cooked like around the edges, you go ahead and add in the ingredients like so, and then just let the egg cook a little bit more. And then when it starts to cook a lot, to where you can lift the edges without it spilling, then you're more than likely ready to flip. Now, because mine is so big, I'll probably have to flip in sections. Or if I can pull up the whole middle and just flip it over like so. And you just continue to let that cook. And I like to add my cheese on at the end. Just put the slices up so you can get the full taste of the cheese without it being inside and mixed with all the ingredients. So you just continue to let that cook until the egg is cooked all the way through. If you need to, you can flip it over so that this side can brown like the other side. And then we'll see the finished product. So I went ahead and flipped the omelet over. As you can see, it's a lot more done on this side than you can probably see on the other side. And you can just cook it to your liking. I mean, if you want it darker than this, then do that. So I have my cheese ready, and I'm just gonna lay it on top like so. And let that go ahead and melt, and then we'll be done. So everything is done. I went ahead and put the cheese on top, and I'm sure it'll work better if you have shredded cheese, because it'll be everywhere instead of just, you know, center on the top. But I like cheese, so I don't mind. And as you can see from the side, everything is all cooked in. And the bottom is a lot more brown than the top is. I'm not sure if you can see that. But it's all done. So you just serve and enjoy. And have yourself a good morning.